Alright, boys, so for me, school is coming back up on September 2nd in about less than 2 weeks. And I thought that today we do a school related video. See, I've been, I'm not really a big school fan, right? Yeah, here and there, school's cool as hell. But I'm not really a big school fan, so I'm not going to be looking forward to waking up at 6 in the morning every day. I mean, trust me, bro, I've been doing that all the time. I've been waking up at like 7 a.m. every day the past almost a week now, so I really gotta start doing them. I gotta start going back earlier. And I went to bed at freaking 11:30, 12 o'clock last night, so it ain't nothing new. But like I said, I gotta stop doing that toward the end of summer break, boys, because summer or school will be going back into session on September 2nd. And man, let me tell you, man, I'm gonna tell y'all something, little story. Torrington Middle School, boys. Let me tell y'all, Torrington Middle School was one of the best schools in the world. And if you guys want to see a school rankings video of all the schools I've been to in my life, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget, if this video gets one comment and one like, I will be doing a school rankings video. So, talk about Torrington Middle School today, and I'm gonna be chronologizing, if you will, my experience there from when I first went there for the first time till I left in 2024, I think, right? Yeah, 2024. So, this might get a little bit emotional, so get ready, y'all, because let me tell you, man, I have some cool memories there. So we kick off this journey March of 2023, right? I moved out of my old house from Bristol about a month ago, and I was ready for a new school year. Now here's the thing, is that I didn't really get signed up till like mid-March, so yeah, a little bit of a vacation, if you know what I mean. But I didn't get signed up for school until like mid-March, maybe I think mid-March or late March. I forgot what. I think it was mid-March. Ah, I know the MLB season was coming up, so it was like, oh hell yeah. So I go into that school for the first time, and I know nothing. I know nothing. It's my first time in Torrington school, and I'm not the kid to be nervous really, but when it's your first day in a new school, halfway like close to ending a school year, you gonna be nervous at first, right? Cause I don't know one day and shit. So I was nervous, obviously. So I go into that school. Now I got everything. Oh my god, I had a pair there. What was her name? Miss Mandy, I think. Oh, she was mid. I wasn't a very big fan of her. She was okay. Decent. It was at West Bristol. I don't know West Bristol. I forgot what pair I had. It was Miss Mandy. I think her name was like Miss Schroeder or some shit. Or was that TM? Was that West Bristol? That might have been West Bristol. Yeah, that might have been West Bristol, actually. I forget my old 7th grade pair, to be honest. She was W, though, that's for sure. So, I'm over here chilling, right? First day of school. I don't really do nothing. I'm hanging out. And that's when I meet Miss Fletcher. Now, Miss Fletcher was so we had a resource kind of class where you'd go in there and you do work and do whatever, really. I mean, it was, like, if you did all your work, yeah, it would be more of a hangout class. Cause, like, I loved that class because I'd go on my braille note all the time. Yeah, I do my work sometimes, but, like, I would go on my braille note most of the time. So Miss Fletcher was like the teacher, of course. And, bro, she was cool as hell. And let me tell you, bro, I liked her a lot. She was W. She actually was decent outside when she left in my 8th grade year, but I'll get into that later. And she was one of the teachers that she wasn't really elderly, but she was like on the older side, so like it was whatever. So then as the year goes on, I meet new friends. I meet this girl named Carly, who I haven't seen since 7th grade, so she when I moved. Sad. And met Noba, not Noba, that's high school. I met Neve, who is still my friend to this day. Her brother Jace I met too, and he was an a-hole. I didn't like him. He was annoying. So he was on my bus. I hated that kid. Annoying as hell. I freaking wanted to beat that kid up so many times. And Neve was cool as hell. I pretty W kid. I never had a crush on her, but she was like my best friend. Then I met Landon out of Weenie, which I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he like moved or what, but I haven't seen that kid since like the beginning of the school year. So he might have moved away, which if he did, that sucks. Landon, me and him loved basketball. We were talking about basketball. He was my science class, and this kid was cool. I think it was Miss Dawson was my science teacher back in 7th grade. She was cool as hell. She was like decent. I ain't gonna lie. We were learning about rocks and stuff, so it was like pretty cool. But Landon was my in my science class. We were talking about basketball all the time. Or he was a big basketball fan. I wasn't really into it back then. I liked the Celtics, but I wasn't really big into basketball. I talk about LeBron and like Kobe and stuff. On the first day of school, I was in Miss Fletcher's room just drawing stuff on the whiteboard, and we were drawing basketball courts. We're drawing. I was telling Landon to draw like a shark playing basketball on a basketball court, and like it was funny, cool kid. And then a few years later, I met Michael Allman. Now this kid, he's still my friend to this day, and Michael Allman is one of the coolest kids that I've ever met. He loves baseball, and I was a big baseball fan. I was just starting to get into baseball. Like in 2022, I was watching this game with the week streams on YouTube that they would do. I would watch. That's when I started really. Guess when I started really watching baseball. Like I was kind of big when MLB The Show 22 was really popular. I was watching people play it because I wasn't really into baseball, but I was like I liked MLB The Show, so I was playing that. I was watching people play that game a lot. So, oh, we were talking about baseball all the time, and I had gym class, right? So, gym class for me was cool as heck. And I didn't know it, but when I started Torrington Middle School, that was actually Alana's last year at Torrington Middle School. So, it was whatever. It was cool as hell. But I didn't know that. I wouldn't meet Alana until my ninth grade year anyway, which I'll do a separate high school video as well. Um, but yeah. So, seventh grade year goes pretty good. You know, I take my SBAC test or whatever, the Smarter Balance test, in the school year, which sucked. Hated it. Miss Fletcher was the one helping me out with it. Hated that thing. God, I hated doing that. That was annoying. We had to go in the little conference room. And let me tell you, bro. W kid. But when I turned away from that for a second, turned to my friends list, if you know what I mean. Pun intended. But I had a friend, so back in, like, when a couple of weeks into my Torrington Middle School year experience, if you will, I met this girl named Bella, who was actually, so my school was split into three different groups, I guess. We had Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire. The hallways would be split in different, I guess, categories, if you will. Now, I was in Ruby, and Ruby team was cool as hell. You know, a lot of good friends and whatnot. Some bullied me here and there, like Derek Jensen in 8th grade, which hated that kid. I'll talk about him later. But you know, Ruby was W. Emerald was my brother was in Torrington Middle School at the time. Oh no, he was at I think he joined Torrington Middle School when I was in 8th grade. My cousin Amelia was at Torrington Middle School with me, so I got to see her sometimes here and there, and she was cool as hell. I love Amelia, bro. She still is. She's not really that active anymore, which sucks because she was always playing around with me. She's more older, so it makes sense. W, right? But I remember I got Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Why? Because it was the longest book in the freaking book world I've ever read. I got it in Braille. And unfortunately, freaking Loki peed on it, and we got Loki a couple of months later. So that sucked, but it's whatever. It's fine. Um, but I barely read them anyway. I read them here and there, but it was mid. But back to what I was saying. So I had a friend named Bella who was on, I'm pretty sure Sapphire, and there was another girl named Keegan, which she was cool as hell. I never really liked her, but my friends would always joke with me saying, "Ooh, Shadow's got a girlfriend." We would always joke. We would always joke around like that. Let me just make sure the headset doesn't come. We would always joke like that because it was so fun doing that. Sorry, wait, I'm not playing. I'm just making sure the headset doesn't turn off. Okay.
Play.
Oh, there you go.
Turtle. Play.
So yeah, so Keegan was a cool kid. Now I liked her a lot. I never really close to her, but I was like best friends with her. Her, Grace Pernicki, who I met, and some of her other girlfriends. And I'd be around the girls a lot because it was cool as hell. So then Bella, a couple of months later, in like April, May of 2023, Bella fortunately announced to me that she was moving away. Now this devastated the shit out of me. And yes, I'm saying yes, where I know I don't like cuss on my videos, but this devastated the shit out of me, homie. So let me tell you, man, Bella was a really, ooh, I loved her so much, bro. She was the best kid ever. And I don't know what happened to my bracelet, but Bella gave me a bracelet that she made for me, which had a heart horseshoe, and it was like one of those bracelets that had the beads on it. Now I don't know what happened to that. Hopefully, it didn't get lost because I freaking But if it got lost, I'll be sad as hell. But Bill gave me that bracelet. I kept that on my top drawer of my desk for like almost 2 years, and now it's gone. So I'm hoping I didn't lose it. I never lost it. My mom must have taken it and put it somewhere. Oh, if she lost it, I'll be pissed off because that bracelet meant a lot to me. Because every time I take it out of my drawer, it would always it would always remember me of Bella, cool as hell girl, right? Loved her a lot. She was cool as frick. So then we come to the end of my 7th grade year, and let me tell you, it was decent. I mean, yeah, it was only like a month long because I mean I was in West Bristol the first like 6 months of school year anyway, so it was whatever. Most of the time like February. And then we skip over to my 8th grade year 2 months later, and this year was hectic AF. I'm gonna tell y'all something, boys. This year was hectic, and let me tell you, it was hectic for the wrong reason. See, at the beginning of the year, now I had met Miss Powers in 7th grade, and let me tell you, I didn't think anything of her. I thought she was cool as heck. She was decent. And I met her because she was in my science class. I grew to like her. She was cool. Not like that close, but I grew to like kind of not bond with her, but like her here and there. So then Miss Powers was my para for the school year. Now that took a downhill turn because I wasn't really expecting that. I thought I was gonna have my para from last year, but I guess not. So then I come up and I get ready, boys. And let me tell you, the first months of the year were not pleasant, boys. Me and Miss Power would have arguments for every single day about the stupidest stuff. So I had to do History Day. History Day was a project. You had to pick a historical event. I picked Jackie Robinson because I like baseball. So I was on my braille note, and that thing would mess up all the time. Now I had to do like a shared doc, so I would share it with my history teacher, Mr. Sizer, which I ain't gonna lie, I kind of liked him. He was a cool as hell teacher. So my braille note was effing up, right? I was typing, and it would do that thing where if you type too quick, the cursor would skid around the screen. It would like make it all gibberish. Now Miss Powers, freaking old ass, thought I was typing that shit. She thought I was typing that, like, bro. She was trying. It was so funny. Her trying to read that. She kept trying to read it like I was typing it. Like, bro, are you freaking kidding me? She must have been on methamphetamine. So then I said color barrier thingy. Why thingy? I don't really know because we're talking about the color barrier. When Jack Robinson broke the color barrier in 1947. And of course, she made fun of me for saying that. And she decided to bang on my desk. She sounded like a crackhead here. She banged. So it's like I used to meow a lot because I was weird as hell. As an 8th grader, I used to meow like meow, meow, like to fast around. This bitch did this in my ear. For real, she scared the. Oh, I wanted to punch her so freaking hard. She banged on my desk, which wasn't really an issue. I was pissed off, but I wasn't. She ran me. I wanted to punch her. I had my fist up like this. Of course, you can't see. I was ready to punch her in the face. But I didn't, because I held back because I didn't want to get suspended. I've never gotten suspended before. I've gotten kicked off the bus one time for a misunderstanding back in my 9th grade year, which I'll talk about that in a future video. But,
Career. Quick
but,
play.
so, I asked, yo, can we go in the hallway? And she's like, oh, you want to go in the hallway? She's all sarcastic. Now, Mr. Fabio. Mr. Ferrio was my math teacher, I think. No, not math teacher. Resource teacher, I'm pretty sure. Now, when we were on the hallway, we started arguing, and Mrs. Tizer came out, and I didn't want to deal with him. Like, she's constantly, Miss Del Monte, Miss freaking, what's her name? Powers banged on the locker, and Mr. Fabio, so math teacher, Mr. Ferrio thought that was me banging on the freaking locker because I'd done it before when I was pissed off. But no, I was like, no, it's Miss Powers. And I heard Miss Powers confess that, she was banging on the locker, or whatever. And Mr. Ferrio asked, you want some administration? I was like, hell yeah, go get some administration. So up comes Miss Sharkey, which I thought she was cool as hell. I was talking about the Stanley Cup all the time with her, and it was like funny. So up came Myers, which I liked her a lot. I grew to like her a lot more after this day. I had Miss Myers, Miss Sharkey, and Miss Ramsey. I'm pretty sure. Who she's at my school now, which is cool as hell. I always made a joke. I'd always say, who do you cook for, Mr. Gordon Ramsay? Because, her last name was Ramsay, so I'd always make a joke. She would not take offense to that at all. She thought it was funny. So then dude came up, and I tried to explain. I'm crying out my ass, bro. I'm crying like a damn newborn baby over here. Okay, not that hard, but I was crying. I was pissed off. I was stressed. I was fucking scared at this point. Thought Miss Powers was gonna lunge at me and shit. But yes, we go into the other room in the hallway, and oh my god, bro, Miss Myers here. I'm not even gonna go to the other day, but oof, she was one of the most caring people I've ever met. Right, like she was holding my hand and shit the whole time, and nah, she didn't think I was a fool at all. She knew I was sad. So I was telling him, yo, if I haven't, I actually moved closer to Miss Myers. Why? Because I felt safer. That's exactly what I said. Now, I was just saying shit to say shit. But I was with Miss Myers because, she's cool as hell. And, mm, man, I love Miss Myers, bro. I miss her so much. I gave that woman a hug at the end of the school year. Saying, oh, I'm going to miss you, whatever the hell. But yeah, before that, I was telling them, yo, Miss Myers and Miss Myers doing this. No, they actually understood, and they actually removed Miss Powers from my position from me after that day. Now, they didn't fire her, which I was kind of pissed off at, but I was disgusted. They made me go with another freaking pair. Forgot who it was. But then I got Miss Merning. Now, I can lie, she was cool. She was kind of Miss Lamonti almost. A little bit more rough with me because she would always move around. Like, and I haven't even knew how to sports at the time. Mr. Marchand, oh my god, I hated this guy. He was rough with me. He was rough. When I say rough, I mean when he was helping me, like we were at one of our games, one of our tournaments, and I had to go back to him. So this bro was pulling me like how Miss Martin did. This dude was pulling me around corners and shit. He was a little bit too rough with me, which I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really like him. He was okay, but I actually didn't go to do Unified for like a few months because I was doing way bad in school. And yes, I got a 50 in my first semester history, which I ain't gonna lie, that's the worst I've ever done. That's because I was messing up. I was messing around in school and shit. Cause I had a lot of stuff to do. So then I go and I get my grades back up. I get back in Unified in like February. Now at this point, basketball season is like basically over. So then basketball season is like basically over, and I'm over here, Unified Sports whatever the hell, right? Cool as hell people. So then my eighth grade year almost comes to an end, and Miss Merning leaves me in like April of 2024, which I was sad. And I had Miss Almonte, which I call her. She was cool as hell. Oh my god, bro. She was W. And W. Para. I love her, bro. Yeah, we have arguments here and there, but yeah. Then my 8th grade year comes to an end, and let me tell you, bro, I'm sad as hell. Leaving Torrington middle school and stuff. It was sad, you know. I got to go tour Torrington High School, and oof, that school was dope as hell. W school. But yeah, that's really it. Boys Torrington Middle School comes to an end. I hop on the bus for the last time. And they did this cool. They didn't do it at my school surprisingly, which kind of sucked. They did this cool thing at my school, at my Torrington Middle School, where as the buses would go by, the teachers they'd honk. Which I'm surprised they didn't do that at my school for the seniors. Which I get it, it's older, they're older, it's whatever. But the buses would honk, and I was like, oh my god, they did it in my 7th grade year too. And I was like, oh dude, this is cool as hell. But W bus drivers, man, I ain't gonna lie, that bus driver was cool as hell. So here comes the saddest moment, bro. My school years.
Career. Quick
Like this
play.
is actually ranking like second sadness because Safford was one of us the most saddest school years ever. But then so I'm getting off the bus, bro. My mom was sleeping, which I didn't know that. I thought she was awake. I thought she was at work. No, this is it's the time I went to my dad's house for a month. Never did that crap again. Hell no, freaking hate that. So yeah. So I'm on the bus home. It's a whole good time talking to my homies, whatever. There's a bunch of couple girls. I think one of them name was Quick Crystal or something. I forgot what the girls' names were. There was a couple of them. But we're gonna skip back a little bit to May of 2024. May 22nd, 2024, we did it, I'm gonna remember, in a really fun time, right? So, that day was the day I got to go on a field trip to the Connecticut Science Center. Oh, you bet your butt took my phone, because I was gonna do videos of the elevators, because you bet your butt I was doing that. I was watching a lot of Jim Lee elevators back then. I still watch him. I actually discovered him like 2 years ago, in 2022. I discovered him, and I was watching him all the time. So, back to what I was saying. We go on that bus, right? I sit in the back because, oh man, I want to sit in the back with Mr. Vitale. Yes, that's some of the guy's name. He was cool as hell. I still have those videos too. On my frick, what are they called again? Voice memos. I decided to record it on voice memos because I didn't want. Miss Fury told me that it would take up less battery and take up more space. So I was like, I bet. So it was more of an audio file than a pod. It was more like a podcast than a video. So Mr. Vitale was with me, my chaperone to me, with me and all my other homies. Right? He had Liz. He had other homies. Now I didn't know about this girl until we left. But so we had a fun time. First of all, we had a fun time. I met some kids. There's one cool one where there's like an ambulance you get to go in, and I got to like sit on it, and I was like pretending to drive it, and I was playing with the kids like, oh, we gotta get to the hospital quick. It was cool. It was fun. We got to see some of the cool science experiments, and the place is like 10 floors tall, so I got to ride the elevator. We rode two elevators,
Career.
right? We rode the
We
main elevators,
play.
which are Otis Series 5, and then we rode the other elevators, which I think was Series 4, actually. It might be Series 3, I don't really know. But we got to ride the elevators up to the LL, and we got to go up 4 floors, up 6 floors. So technically, this place is like 15 floors up. Because you got the garage elevator, you got the garage, you got the main lobby elevators, you got the 6 floors, you got to up all the way to the top. And it was like 10, we were like 10 floors up almost. It was cool as hell. So we had to go up to the top floor. We got a fun time. We ate lunch. I had a sandwich and whatever the hell. It was 85 degrees. It was hot as hell. It was hot as hell. We were staying out there on a little patio on top floor, and bro, it was hot, bro. I did like a 15-minute video of us staying there for like 5 minutes, and then I recorded us going up down the elevators, down that elevator, and then down the main ones as well, and it was cool as hell. Right, W elevators. So then we go on the bus, and I go in the back. You know, I'm chilling, talking with my time about wrestling, whatever, because he liked Hulk Hogan back in the day. And then there was this girl. It was Liz, who was cool as hell. I miss her. But there was this other girl that I heard Liz talking to. Now I didn't know the girl's name until Liz said it, because she was like, I don't know, yelling at her or something. Now this girl's name, it was close. It was close to Sandra, that bus driver that I told you all about. It was Sandra, Sondra. This girl, man, I never talked to that girl, but I heard Liz talking to her, and oof, cool as hell. I was getting scary to her, and I was like, yo, where that girl at? Liz was like, yo. I was like, hell yeah. So, we ain't gonna talk about that anymore. I got back to school, tired as hell. And later, I was tired AF, bro. I was mad tired from that. Got back to school for a little bit, and yeah, it was done. So, W kid, W. So, yeah, that's really it. And, oh yeah, like I was saying, it could either go smooth and the year. So back I was saying, final step. Go on the bus, right? Bus riders, but all buses honk, whatever. I get to my stop. It's sad as hell. I try my best not to cry. I was like on the verge of crying. I was tearing up though. So I was saying bye to Miss Michelle, cool bus driver, really cool. Yeah, we got pity arguments here and there, but you know it's life. So we go on the bus. I get off the bus. I'm walking up my driveway, right? This is before I got paved, I think. Oh no, it was as I got paved. I think I don't remember because I got paved. I remember in November 2023. I'm walking up my driveway. I turn back and I'm like, homie, bye. I'm gonna miss you. She's like, I'm gonna miss you too, dear. She called me dear a lot. I wish she was all the way, whatever. And oof, I think I might have let loose a few tears because oof, it was emotional, man. It was sad. I waved at her. I go upstairs. I go to my house. I hop on my PlayStation for a little while, and then that's when I go and go at that house for a month. Never did not go again. Went back home in like August, And yeah, that's really it. That's really it for that. And if you guys enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And yeah, boys, I will be sure to do a rankings video at some point later today or tomorrow. Or I think I might do my Torrington high school experience. And yeah, so peace out, boys. That up.